All right, back in here today again, and today I'm going to check out like a random misfire. So what had happened is I'll be driving sometime. Literally, it just started, but it had done it before. But I'll drive, and then okay, just a scenario, just a randomly doing it. Do it and it'll stop. Sound like I'm hitting my two-step, but I'm not. Well, I am doing a log, so I guess we'll see if anything was, or what the hell was going on. Background of when it happened the first time. The first time I was doing the Gymkhana event and driving. And then I stalled out, so I started the car right back up, and I tried to, and I took off. And after I did that, that's when I got that sputtering issue, and I was like, "What is that? Like, what happened? Like, what was going on?" So it started sputtering, but then it stopped. So I didn't think none of us about it. And like a couple of days later, it started again. But literally, that was the first time I ever had done that stuff. So I changed. I went in there, checked out my like wiring and stuff, and then I changed like a ground, and I changed like 2 coils because I had 2 spares, and I just trying to like play them around, and for some reason it stopped. It didn't do it again for a long time. I'm going to try and check my coils again. Gotta check my wiring, make sure nothing's loose, make sure it's like no broken ground or something crazy. But I guess I'll bring you guys along for the ride with that. Just in case you have that same issue, you can check yours. Literally last week I took my spark plugs out and I cleaned them or whatever. If you guys don't know, you can clean your spark plugs. You can clean them and like just get some of the stuff off of it just to prolong your use of them. Depends on, especially if you're running a higher horsepower car or a stockish car, which the spark plugs should last longer. But if you're running like a high horsepower car and your car is tuned or whatever, you might want to change your plugs like maybe every year, maybe more depending on what you're doing. But let's pop this hood, let's get in here and see what we got, and hopefully we can diagnose this issue. Welcome back to Nismology. All right, here we are with my car. You guys have seen it a couple times. Well, I need to clean under this hood, bro. It's filthy. But here we are. Someone requested me to do the intake, which I was planning on doing anyway. I'm gonna get the Nismo intake manifold, so that'll probably be going in there later because I need that. I need that. So, with that being said, under this, I have the R35 coils. So I know a lot of people buy the coils, they don't get like spares. One goes out, then you gotta wait some weeks. Unless you're blessed to be in Australia or, you know, somewhere. Or you can get the coils from Nissan. Good luck with that price. Or you can get it at Amazon, you can get it overnight. But I'm in Japan. So here we are. I have spares. I ordered spares. So here's my spare box. Like all the stuff, like if I go to an event and like when I went to the drag races on the island, I took this whole box with me filled with stuff. So it has gear oil, freaking transmission oil, automatic transmission fluid, belts, which the power steering belt, once you start making power, loves to fling off on RBs. So I got extra belts. I got some boots. These are my old ones from HKS ones, but something is better than nothing. So got that. Got some octane booster, which is some good stuff, by the way. This Lucas, pretty good stuff. Brake fluid, but I got coils. The Hitachi coils right here. So got my Hitachi coils, and what I'm going to do is, and just a little, so the ones I bought originally, they came from eBay. I bought them from this company called, I forgot the name of the company, I promise I forgot. But they were a little bit cheaper than the PRP kit. So I just bought their kit, and they came with the coils and everything. So I bought their kit and I ran them. But they're not Hitachi coils. So I bought the Hitachi coils extra, and like this is my extra like stuff. More extra stuff. You can never have enough extra stuff. So you look back here. That up there. I think for the bike. And there are my coils back there. So I got 4 more back here. So what I'm going to do is, I kind of just want to start with 2. I don't want to do all 6. Because it could just be one coil or something that's just acting up. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start with my back 2. I'm going to start with number 5 and 6. Switch out these coils. And then go for a test drive. I mean, literally, I can feel it when it's happening. So if I go on a test drive and I feel it, and I know that those 2 coils are not it, then I'll change to the next 2. And then the next 2. One of those is gonna stop it. It's got to stop it, unless it's a wiring issue somewhere. I need to check also, but I'm gonna check on my wires and everything. So let's do this. All right, got the coils out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each one off one at a time, and I'm gonna look at them, inspect them. So you're gonna look and make sure, like, if you see any like carbon tracking, or sometimes when coils blow, they'll leak. It's called leaking. What it do is the spark between the coil and the spark plug, somehow to get out, the boot could be ripped, or most of the time it's the boot that's ripped. So you have to think, after all many years and how many start and stops and cold, hot, cold, and hot, hot and cold, how many times it's going to wear on, especially like rubber. So we're going to check each one. I'm going to look at each one, make sure everything looks good. If I see anything crazy, so you know, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you what I'm going to look at first, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I got the number 1 coil here, which, I mean, they're all the same, but this is the coil I got from that company, and here we go. It's called Billet Coils Kits. Billet Coil Kits. I think they're from Australia, but you know, it says GTR high output, and they have different ones. So I got this one. So when you're looking for a coil that's misfiring, or something just randomly, if you got a misfire that's consistent, check your coils, check your spark plugs, but also make sure you don't have vacuum leaks and stuff like that, because that can also lead to misfires. So here, coil. What I want to do now is just look at the coil, make sure there's no obvious signs of any wear or anything that's crazy. So you'll look for, like, most of the time when it's ripped and you see the spark coming out the boot, it'll be white. You'll see a lot of whiteness around this area. So, I mean, I don't see any on this one. But also check the top of the coil. This is where a lot of the power come from. So once this plugs in, this is where your plug goes in, and it shoots all the power through this. And then down through this stalk, which has like a spring inside of it. And that connects to your spark plug, the top tippy of your spark plug. So that being said, what you want to investigate here is to make sure that there's no like bubbles around this top portion, because they get hot and then they'll like implode on each other. Like that's like bubbling up on the inside of it, and then you'll see exactly like it's really a bad coil. So this one looks fine. I don't see anything that's obvious or wrong. Also look down inside of your, let's see, we can see that spring. See if we can see that spring that's in there. I don't know if I can get it. You can kind of see it, but just check that spring, make sure it's not loose, make sure it's not bent or broken. Sometimes they break from being hot and cold the whole time, like hot and cold, and that spring will break, and then that will definitely lead to a misfire. So with these also, you can take the stalks off just to check and see them. So with that, let's do that also. All right, here on these coils, I separated, and you have the coil itself. And once you put it out, if you have the same coils that I know for sure a lot of people probably bought these coils. So if you have these coils specifically, when you pull this out, make sure you don't lose any of the insides of this coil itself. So this is what you get. You get that out. So we get that right there. You get one of those, and you get a spring. And this is that spring that I was referring to. They break. They do break. So the rest of this is just your coil, your boot. This is what keeps the spark from escaping past your spark plug and then going to your cylinder wall. You don't want spark jumping out of the cylinder, out of your spark plug or your coil going to your cylinder wall. That's definitely gonna give you a misfire. So check this out. Make sure you check all of this. Make sure you don't have any ripped boots. Make sure your boot is nice and good. And usually before I put this back on, I have dielectric grease. It's grease that you can put on electric stuff, and it will not mess up anything. It's going to help also keep a good connection and help it prevent it from throughout the hot, the cold. The cycling of the hot and coldness in the engine. It gets really hot in this engine bay. Just imagine that being inside this valley that's covered. It gets hot in there. So dielectric grease is going to help with your connection between your coil, your spark plug, and make sure it's a good connection. So I'm going to check all that also. I'm going to do all 6 of my coils and check all of those. If I see anything crazy, then I'll come back and make sure you guys in the video. All right, so took this one out. This is number 3. See how I got that little darkness that's on the tip of this spark plug? Let's see if I can zoom in. Got that darkness and that buildup right there. You see that? So I don't know if that could cause it. I've checked 1, 2. They didn't have it. So with 3, I don't know if that's going to cause an issue. But if we look here also in the hole there of this one, it kind of had a rustic look. I don't know if you can't see it, but it kind of it had a rustic look. So I'm gonna do this one as a possible. Cylinder 3. Make sure it's 3. 1, 2. Yep, it's 3. So number 3, we're gonna take that one as a possible and see. All right, here goes another prime example. I'm trying to give you guys all the information, so just in case you go through this, you can look back at my video and see what's going on. So this is 3, that's number 4. 4 also looked that way. Here's 5. Just to show you an example. Spring is in 5 right now, but 5, this thing is clean. You see that? It's nothing on there. Nothing on there. Inside of there is clean. Here's 4. It's 4 spring. And here's the little thingy diode. I don't know what the fuck this is, bro. But I don't know if it's made of ceramic in the inside of this, but here's this one. Look at that. Zoom in for you. So you see that? Look at how that is. Also on the inside of 4, you can see there's I don't know if that's rust or that maybe just from the firing of it, because to me that seems like if this is not getting a good connection and rust is getting in between this and this, it's gonna make a spark not give its full potential, and possibly it'll spark fine and then it'll stop sparking. So these are all just possibilities right here. So that one and this one right here, 5s look good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5. About to go to 6. Let's see what 6 looks like. All right, just remove 6. Looking at it, looks fine there. The spring looks good. This piece look good. You can see on both sides of it, it's shiny. Shiny on both sides, and inside of it is also shiny. You see there? These two? Yeah. These two are kind of iffy. More so this one. So more so of 4 being iffy because of that rustic looking piece. But 3 also has a little bit on there. So what I think I'm gonna do is, just go ahead and do it now. I'm just gonna 3 and 4. I'm just gonna swap these two out with these right here on the side. These two right here are actually from the same company. I told them what was going on, and they sent me 2 more. So that was a plus. The only thing I had to pay for was shipping, but you know, to pay for shipping instead of getting charged for new coils. But let's check these out and see. All right, if you're still with me. So what I'm gonna do is, this one don't look bad. So number 3. The other one I swapped out because it looked really good. So number 3, I'm gonna clean this off with just a little bit here on the freaking pad, sandpaper. Clean it off. I'm gonna get inside of this one somehow. Get inside of there, clean that out. I'm gonna put it back together. And then we'll just go from there. You know what I'm saying? We'll go from there. See how everything works. If everything works after that, then I know for sure to check these coils. So I'm going to put that back together, check over everything else, look for any signs of anything that's loose. And then we might go on a test drive if everything holds up out there. Might go tell them a little small test drive. All right, just show you guys just a little backstory. Also what I'm doing, I had this plug. This is a plug that goes to sends your power to your coils. So on this plug, when you get your coil kit or whatever, most of the time you're gonna have to rewire it or cut and put these wires back together. I can see here on this one that it's a little bit protruding from the bike. So it's a little loose. I don't know if that's gonna cause an issue, but it ain't no more because I took it off. I have spare harnesses here. I have a whole lot of spare stuff, but spare harness there. And what I did was cut one of the plugs off of it. Same exact plug. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put these connectors on, connect them back up, plug them back in. They should be good to go. Just a little bit of what's going on here. So once I get that done, I put everything back together. I don't know if I'm going to test drive tonight. It is 7:30. I can. I need to go test drive it because I don't want to have this issue just lingering. You know what I'm saying? I don't like my car to have issues. That's just me. So I fix them. All right, we're gonna give us a cold start just to make sure everything's good to go, and we are going to check. Let's see here. I think everything hooks back up. Let it prime, fuel up here. Got everything hooked back up. It's on just this side anyway. One more. Start her up.